Hello, everyone, and welcome to the League of Women Voters of Ohio Criminal Justice Study. The League of Women Voters of Ohio Policing Principles and Position is one of 5 subcommittees. And today, what we would like to do is give you a short preview to the proposal to be voted on at the June League of Women Voters of Ohio's convention. My name is Veronica McCreary Hall. I am with the League of Women Voters of the Cincinnati area. I was very excited to have the opportunity to volunteer on the LWVO Criminal Justice Subcommittee Policing Practices. This was my first study that I have participated in with the League. This study matter is very critical throughout our country, and to have the opportunity to participate and make a difference has been very rewarding.
I'm Lee McLaird, a member of the League of Women Voters of Ohio, or of Bowling Green, for some 20 years now. While I was in college, I spent nearly 2 years as a police dispatcher in a small rural area, working with the officers of the local police, sheriff's office, highway patrol, and volunteer fire and ambulance services. I hope that my unique perspective was helpful in our committee's research.
Ellen Price, League of Women Voters of Oxford. And this was an issue that I cared very much about and just wanted to be involved.
I'm Tim Vieser of the League of Women Voters of the Cincinnati area. I grew up with family and friends in law enforcement, worked very productively with law enforcement when I was in college and trying to work towards campus security, but not everyone else had the same experiences that I've had. And I was deeply troubled, especially in 2021, when a number of unarmed Black men and women died at the hands of police. And I wanted to have a productive way to work towards some way of making things better in Ohio.
As an overview of our study, we have broad aspirational principles which are followed by clear-cut and actionable positions to actually achieve the police reform. The positions offer multiple ways to achieve our principles and also offer flexibility, which is needed to address different communities, whether they're large or small, rural or urban. The League of Women Voters of Ohio Policing Subcommittee was committed to conducting balanced research.
So why does Ohio need its own policing position? A study was approved to be conducted at the state convention in 2021. League of Women Voters of California position was adopted at the LWV US convention in 2022. However, there are over 800 law enforcement agencies in Ohio. Different communities have different needs, and no one size fits all situations. There are funding disparities between different communities, all of which affect local law enforcement in a variety of ways. We hope that our study would find correcting that position and make something that fits properly for Ohio.
Ellen mentioned that we wanted to conduct balanced research, and so we did. We considered the critics and defenders of law enforcement, and we considered media and articles across the political spectrum. We stepped back and distilled some general principles that we had observed in that initial round of research. We found that the President's Task Force on 21st Century Policing and the International Association of Chiefs of Police assessment of that research found broad areas of consensus with our views. We then interviewed 7 police chiefs and sheriffs who graciously agreed to share their candid opinions with us. Finally, we had one last go of research to round out and polish detailed positions for our principals. There are 7 broad aspirational principles and 20 specific positions in our paper. It starts with the law. The police do not create the laws, they enforce them. And criminal law doesn't always solve all of society's challenges. And in fact, in many ways, overcriminalization stresses the law enforcement system, our courts, and our prisons and jails. We believe that communities should determine for themselves what form of civilian oversight is appropriate for their needs and resources. Large metropolitan areas may have civilian oversight authorities. They may have civilian complaint authorities, but that may be not possible for smaller communities. The broad concepts that we believe should drive law enforcement conduct are first and foremost protecting life and promoting human dignity and ensuring equal protection of the law without discrimination, and finally protecting the potentially vulnerable groups. To achieve these high ideals, our law enforcement agencies need to ensure that their personnel receive the training and equipment and the support to ensure their wellness as they carry out a difficult, messy, and sometimes dangerous job. We believe that local communities should support their law enforcement agencies with financial support to adequately retain and attract and equip their personnel, and that federal and state governments should make resources available to those smaller communities and their agencies. Law enforcement agencies that are receiving such support from their communities owe transparency to those communities, and transparency is necessary to promote trust. And finally, we believe that law enforcement personnel should be held accountable if they violate those high codes of conduct, policies, or the law.
So here are some action items that you can take. First, register for member access to the LWVO website. Take the opportunity to read the full report of the policing subcommittee. If you haven't already, become a delegate to the LWVO convention, which is going to be June 9th through the 11th. Vote yes to concur with the LWVO Board of Directors adoption of the new position on criminal justice in Ohio. Lastly, monitor what's happening at the Ohio State House. Take the opportunity to join the LWVO lobby course in your own local community.
For more information, if you have questions or would like more information, please don't hesitate to contact the League of Women Voters of Ohio Policing Subcommittee. Please send your questions and requests to Tim Vieser, Chair, Policing Subcommittee, tviezer@gmail.com. Thank you so much for your time and attention.
It says pause recording.